Like, I don't know why society built up this homophobia. It just seems really absurd to me now with hindsight. You have to realise this is one of the hardest things that it could ever be for a person to come out to their parents, because you don't, as a child, want to have their disappointment. So you've got to realise it's the most difficult thing they could ever confront, and they should never do it alone. With hindsight, I wasn't there to support him when we really should have come to grips much quicker and put our arms around the issue, as it were, and given him the support. I married Shelley nearly 40 years ago, and we brought up two beautiful young boys who are, I still call them boys, but James is 36. I only had a vision of, you know, my boys growing up to be like me. Now, they are like me in so many respects, so don't misunderstand what I'm saying, but I, as a father, never addressed sexuality in my mind. James didn't come out to me, he came out to his mother. In fact, I was in New Zealand skiing with his brother. James was in year 12. I didn't really hear about James's coming out to his mother until I returned from New Zealand. And Shelley waited until the house was quiet and we went to bed, and then she sort of just confronted me with it, I suppose. So no doubt there were tears and still denial, not facing reality. But I think it was just the confrontation of everything I'd been taught in social expectation as a young person through to fatherhood, and it was now had to be taken head on. It just took a long time to digest in my case, I guess. I probably went more into myself, so I didn't really express any feelings. And in fact, I probably didn't talk too much about it if my memory really served me truly from today. It was some disbelief. It was... The sad thing, it was not enough concern about change. It was, the feelings were probably about me. It was, I suppose I'd have to wrap it up as pride, or is this loss of pride? Or are people going to talk behind my back? Like, I just can't talk about it, and I dare say many dads go through this. And you shouldn't actually just go in and clam up. The best thing you could do is actually talk about it. It was months or probably even a couple of years before I eventually picked up the courage to talk to my brother. So after working up the courage, and I mean courage, I don't know why, because it's not such a big issue when you really think about it, but when you're dealing with this internal battle, you do have to sort of work up, and there's a line in the sand, and so in the case of my brother, he sort of said, like, we love him, we're not going to change. We've sort of suspected he might have been gay for a long, long time, but what's the big deal? The best advice you can get is educate yourself and just look around, like face reality. Even in business, we always said if you face reality to an issue, you're halfway there to fixing it. So you've had all these expectations of your son or your daughter growing up in a certain manner, but we shouldn't be living their lives, but just get your arms around them. They're the ones who really need the support. Like, forget your own pride, be supportive of them, and just educate yourself.